Hey guys, it's Byron here and welcome to Byron's Reviews. As you can see, I am joined by Rhys once again.
Hello again.
And today we are going to be talking about American Warships, which is a film we've just seen now. So, what did you think about the film?
I actually really like this film. It's probably the closest Asylum film I've seen that's closest to like a big budget blockbuster. It is based, obviously, as you can tell maybe by looking at it, it's sort of loosely based on the premise of Battleship, if any of you guys have seen that.
I haven't, but...
Basically aliens invading and there's one battleship that has to take them out. But it is actually really well directed, and unlike most Asylum films, isn't tongue-in-cheek, which is a weird change, but I quite like it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to think about how you should judge this film, because normally with Asylum films, which I'm a really big fan of, they're a bit tongue-in-cheek and cheesy. And while this one does have some cheesy moments, in general it's really serious. So you kind of think you should judge it not as you would most Asylum films. What I really did like about this film is that you'd hear about this film and think that it'd be boring, because it's trying to do a big budget premise on a very low budget. And what really makes this film engaging, I think, is just the dialogue and the writing.
Yeah, it is. Like, in this film, like compared to most Asylum films, there isn't actually that much action until like the second half of the film. But the way the dialogue is written, is fantastic. It's sort of quick and snappy, and really, like, you can tell that they're trying to just be trying to figure out what they should do in this desperate situation. I mean, the characters themselves aren't anything special. They're all your army movie cliches. You know, the straight talking general, the president. Obviously, he has to be in this B movie or
on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these characters are likeable.
And well written.
Yeah, they're well written because there are lots of different points of view, people who know things that other characters don't, lots of confrontation between some of the characters.
Lots of dramatic irony.
Yeah, exactly. And this all makes it really engaging, and that along with an actually very enjoyable and fitting musical score by Chris Ridenauer, who does the music for a lot of these Asylum films, and I really like his work. I thought it worked really well with this.
Yeah, it did. Not obviously like most of his scores, but isn't anything spectacular. But it definitely suits the sort of film it is. It is very like high quality, high production value, which for an Asylum film is fantastic.
Yeah, because I guess something you could say that is holding this film back is the special effects and the CGI, which normally in an Asylum film I wouldn't really look at. But because this film does take itself seriously, and it is, apart from like the aliens and stuff, you almost feel like you should judge it on realism, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I can definitely say that the effects in this are about as good as most Asylum films are. But personally for me, I don't think it takes away too much from the film, because they're not awful effects. Just in some parts they do get absolutely like really, really bad. Like there's a scene when one of them's on some guys on a boat, and it is just literally just random splashing water, and one of the scenes, and I'm not going to say what the scene is because, you know, that's a slight spoiler, but one of the scenes literally just looks like they're walking on a green screen which just has water on it, which is, even for Asylum standards, is kind of bad.
Yeah, but I thought the actual design of the alien was pretty cool. It looked really good. And I thought that the tension that they built up in this film was really good, because they went quite a while near the beginning without showing who the enemy was, without showing the aliens. And that really worked, because all the characters were thinking, okay, who is this? Is it Chinese? Is it North Korea?
Is it just an unidentified enemy?
Yeah, and it was holding off, and it didn't show you straight away. And I really have to commend this film, because in the trailer, they didn't show the aliens, which I love it when trailers don't give everything away. Another kind of minor thing I would criticise about this film, that there were some parts that are at night time, and I do think that the lighting was kind of bad, because you couldn't really see much of what was going on.
You just could not see their faces whatsoever. It was literally just awful. Like, I mean, there was only like one or two scenes, and they didn't last more than like a minute or so each. And but when you're watching them, you kind of have to really lean into the telly just to see the faces of the people, which is. I mean, apart from that, the lighting is actually really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like dramatic, like red lighting in some scenes, and like.
Yeah, the Asylum's normally really good at having different coloured lights and stuff, and it looks cool.
Yeah.
It really does give the certain effect that's wanting to get.
Yeah, it's just those one or two scenes that are kind of a bit iffy, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I thought there was the acting in this film. It was okay for the kind of low budget film it is. There were some like minor characters that were really bad, but in general, the acting, obviously it wasn't spectacular, but it was good. It did the job. I think.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, nothing special about the acting, but the characters were written so well, it sort of got through that, and like I say, everything's just kind of slightly generic but well written, so you don't really care all that much.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that this film is not really the typical B-movie audience you'd expect it to be.
It's really not. I was surprised at how sophisticated a lot of it actually was.
Yeah, I would recommend this to any person who likes B-movies, because, you know, it's at the end of the day, it is still a B-movie.
Even though if you're expecting it to be cheesy and tongue-in-cheek, maybe it isn't for you.
Yeah, from the B-movie side, I'd recommend seeing it for people who want to see how a more serious B-movie would be like. But if you like big budget action films and can deal with occasional bad effects, then I think this will be really up your alley.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I do just really want to commend the writer and director Thunder Levin, because I think I've seen actually 7 films of his now, 2 of which he directed, and there hasn't been one I've disliked. I'm starting to become a really big fan of Thunder Levin.
He's a good director, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't say his directing is phenomenal.
It's good though.
Yeah, certainly good, but I'd say it's more his writing that it gets right. When he wants to be tongue-in-cheek, he does that perfectly.
In like Sharknado.
In Sharknado, which obviously is some of our favourite films ever. And but when he wants to be serious, he produces American Warships, which obviously is a great film.
Yeah. So I think we've basically said everything we want to say. So thank you, Rhys, for coming on here. Rhys also has a YouTube channel called Games of Reference. I'll put a link to that in the description.
Just want to say thanks for having me, Byron.
Oh, no problem, Rhys. You can come back anytime. So yeah, see you guys.
See ya.